At the start of the Revolutionary War, Israel Putnam was the most senior general in the Continental Army, outranked only by General George Washington. He was famous for his reckless courage and fighting spirit when it came to hunting wolves or serving with Rogers Rangers in the British military in his early days. By far one of his most glorious stands is the Battle of Bunker Hill against the British in 1775. As a young man of 22, Israel Putnam moved to northeastern Connecticut. Land was cheap, but upon arriving, he found farmers struggling with the problem of wolves roaming the land. Throughout the years, wolves had been a persistent problem for farmers, with frequent killings of sheep and livestock. When Putnam arrived, he decided to make a name for himself and rid the area of all the wolves. With the help of other farmers, Putnam organized wolf hunting parties and succeeded in ridding the area of the wolf threat. Years later, Putnam served in the British military with the famous Rogers Rangers during the French and Indian War. Rogers Rangers was a special operations company that conducted unconventional or special light infantry operations in the French and Indian War. They were known for gathering information on the French and their allied Indian forces who were fighting the British. Putnam led a company of Rangers in an attack on Fort Carillon in 1759 and marched on Montreal in 1762, which led to valuable reconnaissance information that helped the British defeat the French in both areas. But none of those acts compares to the bravery and courage Putnam displayed during the American Revolution. Bunker Hill was a strategic location overlooking the north of Boston. Both the American and British forces knew whoever controlled the hill controlled the city. Israel Putnam was one of the commanders sent to defend the strategic location. Already knowing he was outnumbered and outsupplied, Israel Putnam led the newly formed Continental Army to defend the hill at all costs. After the battle, the British took the hill, but at great costs. Sustaining heavy casualties, the British had a total of 300 deaths and 800 wounded. 62 of which were officers. During the battle, American forces only had 5 rounds of ammunition per man and were outnumbered by 600 British troops. As the battle raged on, Israel Putnam urged the Americans to push on through the relentless volleys of musket and fire by the British. Putnam yelled to only fire when you see the whites of their eyes in order for the troops to make every shot count, before they eventually were forced to retreat from Bunker Hill. Thanks to the personal courage and leadership of Israel Putnam, American forces later took the hill back, having inflicted high casualties upon the British during the battle. Israel Putnam was a natural leader. He extinguished the wolf threat in his town as a young man. He led his company of Rangers in multiple assaults on the French. And eventually, he led his troops to victories others thought impossible. Major General Israel Putnam was a key influencer who made Americans believe that the British could be defeated, which inspired patriots to fight on throughout the American Revolution and eventually win their war for independence.